Mountain Dew League, MSI, and ESEA.
Lower bracket elimination game between the Renegades and SK, and this one isn't clear-cut, though the SK named typically synonymous with success, playoffs and more. They now stand against Renegades, who managed to make quite the splash in Sydney. Not close enough to get themselves in those semi-finals, but stepped onto the stage no less, and up against an SK looking shaken. I'm joined by Chad Birchall and Janko Paunovic, and we have to do this one snappy, but we're good at this. Snappy, concise, condensed analysis. First question, though, has to be, we didn't get to hear your opinion on the Fallen interview, which, as Janko said, gave us a boatload of information in a short space of time.
Yes, it did, and I think, you know, the Fallen not being the in-game leader anymore on all the maps is something which I'm...
Cash and Inferno.
Oh, it's silly.
Is that nonsense?
The whole thing is silly. I just think he should have stayed the in-game leader. If this is a hiatus, you know, that he's taking, you know, so he can get his mojo back, maybe look at the game in a different way, that's a positive, but it just doesn't make sense to me as one of the most prolific in-game leaders Counter-Strike has ever seen. I
mean, just quick follow-up. Do you get nervous when you see any team announcing that they're juggling in-game leadership? It hasn't really ever worked out well.
Look at like Gambit. You know, we don't want teams to go down that cycle. We don't want them to end up in that kind of issue, right? Leadership is a very important thing in a team, and if the lines get blurred, then people step out of line and teams fall apart. Well,
step up to the line now, Janko, because it is map conversation time. What's the SK map rotation, map pool like at the moment? I can't really comprehend it.
I think they feel like Cash is their best map probably at the moment, something that they feel comfortable on, which is, you know, difficult for SK to have a map at the moment where they could feel super confident. They just don't have the results to back it up. So I think that's probably be the one that they're going to pick. They're going to get it as well. I don't see Renegades vetoing that out. And for them, they're probably going to go for something standard like Mirage or an Inferno. They don't really have a whole lot of choice considering their map pool as well.
These guys play a lot, Alex. They play a lot in practice, right? I was talking to Gomez, the manager, just yesterday. He was saying these guys play maybe 5 or 6 maps a week, right? So they should have a pretty good idea of how they like to play. I think Renegades would probably ban Overpass. I think from the SK guys, it should be Nuke. They shouldn't risk that ban unless they're worried about Renegades picking Dust 2. Then maybe ban Dust 2 and float Nuke through the second phase, because Renegades won't go for the punish. Oh, there we go. That's the expected bans. So I think Janko's bang on. I think K should be the pick. I don't think they'll go for Inferno again. And Renegades, I hope that they take a risk. I hope that they pick Dust 2. Never mind, it's Mirage. Well, cool.
But there was potential there. So your idea is don't take it to 2 maps that they're familiar with. Also, by the way, 2 maps then Fallen in-game leads on, so we're really not getting to see too much of Cold's leadership so far in this tournament. They've played a whole lot of Inferno.
Yeah, look, I just think that Renegades, even though they've been playing well, they had a good event in Sydney, I just think that they still should have taken a risk in this environment. It's a map that no one is super comfortable with right now. No one's practiced, no one's really played in big tournaments. We've only seen it a handful of times. And Inferno will be the 3rd. So SK getting both of their preferred bans. And I guess they didn't want to risk train. Renegades train's not too shabby with JKS's orbing.
What's your that's true. What's your read, Janko, on that one? That looked to me, and at least from what Chad's saying, SK are going to be very happy with that veto.
Yeah, I think they are. You know, I think both teams will. Their map pools overlap a little bit. Train was probably the only map that we could have seen instead one of the other 3, but I guess that's not something they feel confident on at the moment. And seeing how SK played yesterday on Inferno probably gave Renegades some extra confidence. You know, they did look pretty disjointed in that game versus Astralis.
Yeah, sounds like we've got a match on our hands. Absolutely.
That's the bell, Alex. So when the bell sounds, we're almost ready and raring to go.
Let's take a look at them head-to-head, though. We can see how things have gone for the Renegades and SK. You can see, actually, interestingly enough, a couple of perhaps blips on the radar for Renegades, but the majority, they pushed them all the way. And this is, not forgetting, this is, you know, in the timeline where SK were more dominant and were locked in.
And it's a chunk of mainly online results as well.
Sure.
So obviously there's a bit of disparity there with the most recent result being a 16-3 on the map we're about to witness. I think Renegades are happy with this in the sense of it, they're playing a comfortable opponent, one that they should know. It's not like they're going up against an Optic or unknown quantity, which is where they tend to struggle a little bit more. I think we're going to have a closer affair than most people expect, and I'm going to throw it out there, Alex. Well, Renegades are going to win this 2-0, and I'm going to do a shoey.
Good grief. Goodness gracious me. Okay, predictions come in. Balls are off the table. You know what that means, Janko. Are you going to join the Renegades hype?
SK, and I'm going to drink some caipirinhas.
My goodness. There we go. It's all locked in. Your casters maybe have to take a part in this as well. But we do have a split desk. Let's see what our casters have to say. Elfish Guy and Jason are hanging out.
No matter who wins or who loses, I'm going to be drinking with one of those two guys on the desk.
Yeah, but if it's a 2-0 for Renegades, I will be quite keen to take a shoe there with Sponge as well. I'll be honest though, Jason, I think it's going to be a tough one for Renegades here. Their matchup against SK has traditionally not been too easy for them, and SK have been looking better coming into Dallas than they did at IEM Sydney. So this is a tough run ahead, I think, for Renegades.
Well, yes, this can be difficult. Look at how they're starting this. Just a straight-up B-rush. coldzera's going to get that first kill. They've doubled up here. There's even a third player up top. This is not going to go well, and Bolts is indeed punishing them. It's too fast-paced, and SK's not going to get caught off guard by that. No damage even dealt.
Yeah, that's definitely not how you want to be starting off if you're Renegades. Basically walking right into the Lions 10 of SK Gaming, giving them a nice little warm-up into the first match of the day. So Renegades, well, they're going to need to go back onto the pistols. They didn't get the bomb down, so not off to the start they would have wanted.
No, I think this is maybe a case of them saying, you know, first game of the day, first round of the day for both of these teams. Let's do something fast-paced. Let's do something that maybe they're not expecting to come in. But a B-stack for SK, and I mean, oddly enough, the B-rush on the pistol round of Cash, we see frequently those B-stacks come into play with a retake strategy on the A bomb site. So Renegades going right at kind of the standard CT setup for these pistol rounds, and obviously getting punished for it.
Well, the benefit, at least for Renegades, is that they are on the T side, so if things start to go a little bit better for them, they're going to be able to start restricting that CT economy of SK and get very quickly back into this first half. But what they want to avoid, of course, is allowing SK really quickly into this first half. For now, though, SK playing more or less a retake on the A bomb site.
Yeah, Fur's going to be on highway. Bolts is over at the truck. And SK basically has full information of what's coming. Fallen spotting towards mid, Bolt spotting towards A main. Fur can just kind of play rotate. You saw him with the nade out. He doesn't have to worry about any kind of danger. He's just waiting for an indication of where they're going to be coming, and then he's going to toss out that HE. Likely over towards door as soon as it opens, maybe towards A main. And still silence from Renegades as they line up to hit this A bomb site.
Well, Bolt starting off there with a kill on a JKS. It's not what Renegades needed. They needed to find the first pick here, although they should be able to get the bomb down, which is going to cause some problems for SK. And Jacob finds Fur. All of a sudden, this starts to look a little bit better for the Renegades as they have now got some advantages, at least, to work with the post plant. They've got plenty of time to set themselves up where they want, and their post plant's not looking too bad, although Nifty, he was only a Glock. Not sure how effective he's going to be up on the boost. He's still, though, managing to find one with the CZ. Has an opportunity for a second, not quite going to be able to get it, as the trade is good from SK Gaming. And now they'll make their way into the bomb site. Bolt's doing the lion's share of the work. Fallen chiming in as well, and Az is not going to be able to get anything done there. So SK, they do pull off a successful retake. But Renegades have got the bomb down. They've done a little bit of economic damage. It's not the worst round in the world.
It was close as well. I mean, if coldzera goes down, he has the kit, and he's not too far away from the bomb, but he could have delayed a little bit longer and maybe actually turned that towards Renegade's favor. I have no clue what Fur was doing that round. Like, holding the nade out is all fair play, and you toss it when the hit comes in, but he just ran over to the A bomb site as if there was no chance of him being shot at, as if there was no element of danger to just crossing by forklift, crossing by A main, and gets picked off. And as the first kind of rotation and the first kind of support to that A bomb site, they gave plenty of time for Renegades to get in good positions. Almost a costly mistake. Plan is going to help. Obviously, Nifty at 4,300 isn't going to have that AWP in the next round. That'll be a big piece of Renegades' offense if he's able to find some picks. Fallen at the moment with the scout. Flashbang doesn't affect him whatsoever. That'll be something to see if they adjust that flashbang. And the scout nade combination is going to be beautiful, and so is Bolts flicking up top onto the head of Jacob. And this is handled easily by the SK game.
Yeah, well, not really much put into that round for Renegades, so we weren't really expecting to see too much. The only way they really get anything done there is if they get a great flash onto someone in mid, but once that flash wasn't able to really hit anyone, Renegades didn't have much of a chance.
That's got to be worrying if that flash is going to be used to come in these gun rounds to block off Fallen's AWP. That'll be really interesting to see if they ever get punished by that again, because that didn't even come close to blinding him. Not even a little bit.
I'm not so sure if that's one that you're going to necessarily be throwing too often. But we'll see. Renegades into their first gun round, and this is where they need to start fighting back. It's an important round for them in the grand scheme of things. If Renegades fall too far behind here, I think SK Gaming just gets that roll going. The way that Renegades win this matchup, I feel, is in a close matchup where they kind of go blow for blow with SK.
Look at the emphasis SK Gaming has on that mid defense. Stewie and Fallen to have the initial contact if any play were to be made out, but Bolts and Fur both on highway, ready to flash, ready to peek and swing out wide if needed. Leaving the A-bomb site largely uncovered. There's some spam coming in towards the vents. That's from Jacob, and it's traded back by Fur. And still no one over at the A-bomb site. Fallen considering it with his op, but Bolts and Fur can be locked on towards highway if they don't get over there quick.
Yeah, that double op out for SK Gaming as well right now. coldzera still on that B site. Looks like he's going to be anchoring it. His team is starting to rotate back up towards the A side. SK reading the play fairly well right now, and they're going to be having the majority of their defense where it needs to be. At least if Renegades continue in towards this A bomb site, which it does look like they're going to be doing. A lot of utility out there. The entries not working in the way of Renegades. Fur starting off very nicely in this one with a double kill, and looks for a third through the smoke, but Nifty will shut him down. Still, Renegades haven't managed to get the entry that they needed, and SK Gaming looking very good to now close this round out. Although, Renegades have managed to get themselves out of danger, and there is still a chance here for them.
This is kind of a cool defense that we just saw there. That's SK with the 2 players on Highway able to defend mid, using Renegade's own smoke to provide cover that they can rotate in towards that A bomb site, knowing that smoke is going to be thrown for the cross. That'll give them the seconds they need to get into the bomb site, swing wide, and then there's just such low HP players on these Renegade teams, and Fur's going to line them all up. That's all 5 kills for him, yeah. Ace for Fur in the 4th round. That's really nicely played. On top of the rafters initially, and then rotating back towards mid.
We've got 3 AWPs there for SK for a moment. I'm not sure if they're going to hang on to it, though. What's Fallen going to go for here? This could be interesting if we get a triple AWP set up.
There's no chance. I mean, not in this round, at least. We've seen SK do some crazy things. But also in this round, you have to know if you're SK, it's going to be kind of a half buy. You're going to have those CZs. So no reason if you, for whatever reason, you did want to go insane for a little bit and play with 3 AWPs. No reason to do it in this round and risk kind of that weaponry against the fast-moving pistols.
Could be fun, but not the case, as SK have, of course, gone for the 3 rifles. And Renegades setting themselves up towards the B bomb site. Now the smoke deep there for them is going to allow them to push forward without really worrying too much. So they can get close to this B bomb site, but again, SK reading it so well. They've already rotated a player across who still a nice entry out for him, and it could have been dangerous for SK had they not found the next couple of kills. Fallen Hour doing a good job with the AWP, and coldzera still alive on the bomb site is going to pose a little bit of a problem for the Renegades as they try to make their way in and get the bomb down, which isn't really in a position that's too easy to retrieve now for them. And as a chance gone begging for him, that might have been the round, or at least potential for the round for Renegades had he hit that shot.
That's a shot that might just haunt him, and there's Fallen holding the angle. You're not going to outduel him, not Aza. And now JK has P250, nothing left to do. It looked promising when Stewie goes down without being able to get anyone, no space being able to, or he's not able to keep any space between coldzera and the opponents, who eventually does go down trying to play with the smoke. The ops are salvaged by SK, so not really any kind of great loss of economy as they can pass that over towards coldzera. 5-0, Renegades need to start getting on the board. The money is starting to grow. Stewie's got 8K before he buys, but pretty much everyone's sitting around 5K pretty comfortably, at least 3 players. This is a nice rotation from Fallen to get these 3 kills. Help secure that 5th round for SK Gaming. Renegades yet to get on the board here on offense.
Yeah, and it's starting to look a little bit precarious for them now. 5-0 for SK Gaming. And it's only been the real one or 2 gun rounds for Renegades, but look at the damage coming out already. The grenades just absolutely decimating Renegades before the round even starts.
And again, it's this mid-lean from SK Gaming. This is a new way to play this map that we haven't seen a whole lot of teams kind of buy into. All those questions about how tough it is to hold mid, and look at the damage they've done, and they've not taken any losses. No one's even been touched on the SK Gaming side. 4 players essentially focusing on mid in the first 20 seconds of this round, and when they realize the hit's coming in, they just decide to give it up. They don't need to commit to that fight, but I mean, Nifty's already low. Yeah. Utility usage was great from SK.
They've already got a lot of value out of that initial setup, and Renegades, you can see how much it stalled them. They were so quick into mid, but once they got control of mid, they're going to stand back and sort of think about what they need to do here, slowly, methodically work their way through some of the angles. And Nifty will work his way up short. So it looks like it's going to be an A split here for the Renegades, but already losing a player. Fallen just having such an impact with this AWP. He's up to 8-0 right now, and that might end very shortly as he is being rushed down by a couple of players, but no one's looking at him. And Fallen gets 3 kills before he goes down. Aza, again, a nice couple of entries for Renegades, but just too little and too late.
That is so nasty from Fallen. And here's going to be Fur just pushing, pressing the envelope. Nice headshot from JKS. Can he get any more? Yes, almost a 1-on-3. He's got 3 HP, and he's just holding him off with that Molotov, but now he can get into a new position. It's coldzera, the best player in the world, and JKS has to take him down instantly.
This is going to be another one of those JKS rounds. It almost feels like it. 2 very crisp headshots, but now very little HP, and that Molotov is going to be almost a little bit too much there, but in the end, JKS does go down to the rifle. Perhaps a little bit too close for comfort for SK.
He had the chance in the flames to hit that initial shot. That is very nice from JKS, showing off some skills there, but not able to close out the round. It all started with Fallen. They asked the question, what is his value if he's not going to have these great AWP performances and he's not in-game leading? Well, he has a very beautiful triple kill, and as you said, a great start to this game. 10-1, I believe it is. And 6-0 for SK. The funny thing is, if Renegades realized what this defense were, 2 players on highway, 2 players essentially in mid and 1 at B, if Renegades realized what kind of defense they were going up against, you could just do a fast A play and at least get yourself into a post plant, couldn't you?
Yeah, 6-0 though for SK Gaming. At least Renegades are kind of keeping them anonymous as far as the economy is concerned. That last round, a lot of damage done to SK, and this round again, Renegades can buy. They got the bomb down, so it's not too bad of a buy.
Oh, look at the switch up from SK though. This time though, after using all that utility in mid the previous round and doing all the damage and kind of showing the numbers, 2 players go over towards A. A nice nade in towards A main from Bolts deals 54 damage over to Azza. Some damage onto Ustillo. Nice chip damage before the hit comes in. And now they can play it patient.
Renegades just always seem to be fighting from behind. Every single round we start off with damage for SK or a kill for SK. And Renegades, they try to find their way back into the round, but it's just too much to come back from. And if Renegades can start off with a kill or 2 of their own, they could obviously have a little bit of a better time. But right now, they're just not being able to find that. And SK is doing such a great job in the early round.
Fur makes some noise as he drops down. It'll be interesting to see how they commit to trying to clear out Forklift. Now he's boosted up in the bomb site. There's the smoke for the cross. Bolts jumping up for information, and Fur just waiting for that rupture to smoke, but he takes his eyes off, and Nifty takes his head off, and now it's Bolts' turn. He rounds the corner, able to get in towards Quad as well safely, and they have no idea he's here. He can get a double kill. Perfect flashbang. He's blind as well, but that's beautifully done. Ustillo cannot trade him off, and JKS is left alone. Another 1-on-3 for him, trying to flank from mid, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, you say that, but this is JKS we're talking about with 20 seconds on the clock. It definitely isn't favorable for him, but he does manage to find a way every now and then at least. He's got 14 seconds, but doesn't know that Bolts is standing by the corner. And that's going to be another round on the board for SK Gaming, up 7-0 now. It was a very good incendiary down on the A bomb site, which denied Renegades pushing forward. That meant Nifty kind of had to take that challenge into short, and there was no one to cover him off.
Bought the time for Bolts to get in towards Quad and be patiently waiting for that flashbang that comes through from a teammate. Blinds the Renegades players, makes things much easier. He does a great job of mobility throughout this bomb site. When Fur goes down, he takes up the same position. Nifty's not thinking there's going to be a second person, and then he shifts over towards Quad, where they don't expect him to be there as well because he just got a kill on the other side of the bomb site. So really nicely done from Bolts, that kind of aggressive movement throughout the bomb site to find the next kills, the follow-ups, and he ends with 4.
No bomb down in the last round for Renegades means that their buy, if they do decide to go for it, would have been quite weak. In the end, it looks like it's going to be a save, which is probably the wiser decision, but I have to try and figure something out here. Up to 7-0 is SK Gaming, and that's not the kind of a lead that you can give over to a team like this. We've seen one Australian team already have a good time against SK. That was at IEM Sydney with Greyhound, but right now, Renegades are not even coming close to that.
They're really not. I mean, the one thing you can say that you can, I guess, the silver lining for Renegades is that they do have this economy kind of beat up and busted. Stewie, Fur, and Bolts all below $1,000, and I think there's still going to be a buy no matter what. But if you're eventually able to reset that, there's still time to have a pretty impactful comeback. At least now they're going to be attacking mid when there's not some kind of a crazy stack. Fur is close up. Fallen is watching with the AWP. It's just pistols.
It's still a very scary setup, though, for Renegades. They haven't seen Fur in this position before, so they have no real reason to check it. And with Fallen covering off as well, I can't really see Renegades getting in here and finding any opening frags, if I'm honest.
You know, Fallen staying aggressive as well, and just walking into his crosshair isn't going to do it. You still had that chance as Fallen looked away, but now Fur has to worry about above him. Fallen can't cover that, so he's hearing the sound cues. Ustillo's not going to check it. That's a mistake. Fur now can be as aggressive as he'd like, but he's allowing his teammates to cover him. No real danger for anyone, and they're looking on point, this SK team. We've seen some weaknesses since Stewie joined the roster, obviously, but here against here against Renegades, they're showing nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we all talked about how, you know, it might take a few tournaments and that kind of thing for SK, but
Stewie doesn't even have a kill. He's 0-4.
Doesn't need to be doing anything right now.
This is the easiest game of his life, and he's loving it. I mean, it might just be those B defenders, right? That we haven't seen him go there too frequently outside of the pistol round rush, which was demolished.
And that was a stack from SK Gaming as well, so they had pretty much all their members there anyway. And so, yeah, it's been tough for Stewie to even get involved in this game. Cold Zero, you can see as well, is sitting quite low as far as the frags are concerned. So, yeah, it's really just been Fallen and Fur that have been leading the charge for SK Gaming, with Bolts backing them up as well. And Renegades, well, like you said, they've been hitting the A bomb site quite a lot. Maybe, given the fact that it's not working out too well, it's time to have a look over at B.
They've only gone there on the pistol round, and I think one of the force buys, one of the half buys with pistols and CZ, so haven't really given it a good shot. We haven't seen any B splits come in, partially because the SK defense has had such an emphasis on mid. Renegades has never been able to really take it, and the one time they did, they kind of lost so much HP that it made any strategy A little bit useless. Now we're going heavy towards door. Narrow choke point. They need to get into the bomb site quick. I think that's kind of the idea. They want to be able to get in very fast. The shortest route into the bomb site before that Molotov can go down and cover off the choke point. Bolts will be able to stop them over at Forklift, though. They're lining up for a pop flash peek in towards A main.
This could actually be the undoing for SK Gaming. That pop flash is going to come out if Renegades take the timing correctly and pop out of Squeaky. They can catch him, and that's exactly what happens. Ustilo does find the kill. So good awareness from the Renegades, and they will be able to get into the bomb site quite cleanly. This is the best entry to a site that we've seen for Renegades so far.
This is great, but an opportunity for SK to show off some of their skills in the post-plant, skills in the retake. Look at JKS, though. This time his lurk can be so impactful. He's got a man advantage, and he can afford to be patient and outwait SK. Here comes Fallen trying to peek over, looking for the boost. He's looking for it. It's there, and he tags him, I think, but he doesn't get the kill. That's Jacob brought down, but now JKS peeks, and SK getting wiped off the map. A 2 versus 5. Stewie and Caldera pretty cold, haven't been involved in the action, but Stewie wants to get in. He's gonna go for it, he's gonna get nothing. Still stuck on 0 kills, which has gotta be frustrating to a certain degree, but for Renegades, they get a deep sigh of relief as they get their first round on the board.
And it was really just off the back of one single kill entering that A bomb site. As soon as they get that kill, you can see how much better the round looks for Renegades once they get into the post-plant positions, and JKS just has such a strong situation ahead of him. Now SK, though, they're going to have enough money to rebuy into this round. However, that's going to put their economy quite low. So like I said, Renegades are keeping SK honest in these rounds. They just haven't been able to get those rounds on the board. And there is still potential for Renegades to come back into this map if they can reset that SK economy. On the other hand, though, SK, they shut this round down. We're going to see them run away with the first half. So it's a very important round for the rest of this half and potentially for the rest of the map.
Renegades are going to need to win 2 more in a row in order to take that economy away, especially if SK decides to save a weapon. And I think, from the looks of it, this could be a fake. This could be 3 players hitting that B bomb site. Azza and JKS busting out of door late with the bomb, but Fallen wants to get aggressive. He's going to open it up, and he's peeking in, and this has got to keep Renegades worried. They've got to be a little bit nervous about that fake with that door opening. Here comes Ustilo, though, entering into the B bomb site. Caldera's been forced into the open. They're doubled up, but that's a stunning shot to hit. That's huge, but the fake is working. They're walking out of the door, and there's one player in the open. Fur doesn't realize it. That's a headshot. He's gone. The bomb can get planted, but it's out in the open. They're not going to peek the corner. Now he gets into cover. Oh. That is a smart change.
That could have been a very, very dangerous, costly mistake for Renegades had they stuck that plant. JKS, what? Oh, it's Azza that gets the kill, and Azza coming up actually very, very big in this round. He's got the entry, and now he's got those 2 frags as well, and that's pretty much won the round for the Renegades. The only way that could have gone better is if Ustilo would have got the kill onto Coldzera on the B bomb site. But nonetheless, Renegades are going to be happy with that. They've come away with another round. However, SK saving these 2 guns will allow that buy through in the next.
Yeah, Coldzera can drop 2 rifles over. He's got 6,700s. They're going to have another strong buy that Renegades are going to have to get through. So not done just yet on the SK side, but that fake works so perfectly. It almost feels like maybe Stewie and Coldzera a little bit nervous since they haven't seen action over towards that bomb site. Might have called a little bit heavier of an attack than that what was actually coming.
They really only saw Ustilo because the other 2 were kind of hanging around in halls.
That's what I'm saying. And then they got the kill as well. Coldzera finds that kill. They were just under so much pressure. Both of them were bottlenecked, were just really shoved into that same corner because of the Molotov. And I think that kind of made them feel a little uncomfortable. And obviously the A defenders have dealt with so much action over towards A and mid that they wanted to get a jump on the rotate. So it went away. Maybe some of these struggles and failures that Renegades have had throughout this half helped set up that fake. Some kind of sick, twisted strategic advantage.
Well, another round ahead here for Renegades up against the bye, but this will be SK Gaming's last and another important round here for the T side. Still down 2-8, so while they've picked up the last couple in a row, they're definitely not out of the water just yet. They need to keep on pushing SK Gaming and try and find their way back into this first half.
This time just a default setup from Renegades. Not showing their hand early whatsoever. At pretty much every other round, we've at least seen some lean of where they were eventually going to attack, and they're going to go for the run boost. That's going to start things out nifty. There it is. Coldzera at a pretty disgusting off angle. That could be dangerous. Molotov going to go out. He's waiting for the peek. It's not going to happen. Coldzera does have to move, though. Does have to give up his position. And a second Molotov as well to help them take it. This is going to pull Fallen over, at least for the moment. No presence actually shown by Renegades outside of the Molotovs.
As there is lurking around up in the squeaky door, so this could be something for Renegades hitting the B bomb site late, as they're coming out onto A late, trying to catch a rotation, but for the moment, Renegades rotating back to A.
Tough part is Fur is boosted up over at that A bomb site. That's going to allow the defense to be pretty mobile. Bolts can kind of, go where he wants because of the strength of this position, and obviously, Ozza's there listening for sound cues, and we were focused on the B bomb site. Not sure if he actually heard Fur getting up, if they actually made any noise. We'll see if Renegades, what their plan is to check this boost. This could be their undoing.
Certainly could, and Fur, like you say, in a good spot. Ustillo hasn't checked it. The trade not there from Jacob, but it is from JKS. It's a 2 for 2. As Azza does come out of the squeaky door and get the kill onto the bolts, but the bomb's still not planted. Utility is good here, and there's 13 seconds left. The Renegades, they desperately need to be getting this bomb down. They should just be able to get it in time, but it's allowed SK across. It's allowed them some good positioning into the bomb site. They might not know that SK are this close. JKS in a strong position though, and the spray down is not quite there for him. Cold Zero will be good for the trade, and Nifty and Azza now tasked with the 2 versus 2. The smoke to keep SK at bay for the moment. There's an incendiary down onto the bomb to buy a little bit more time, but Nifty, this is a tough one for him, and missing that shot, that'll be his undoing. SK Gaming easily able to retrieve that retake.
I don't think Nifty expected that wide peek from Stewie that quick after getting the following kill. I think he was not quite prepared for how fast Stewie turned that corner. Almost there for Renegades. I think if you're Renegades, you got to be happy. Azza is starting to come alive on some of these entries. JKS is starting to hit some nice shots as well, but you really do need that op from Nifty to get involved in the action. 3 kills on Nifty and Ustillo, 2 on Jacob. It's JKS and Azza both at 7, but it's the boost from Fur, the opening 2 kills. That is a nice shot, the 1 tap from Azza. You can also go back as well. If you want to, I mean, we just saw that 1 tap from Stewie. JKS had that perfect flashbang from Forklift to peak. He should have gotten a double there. But he kicked it himself for that one after the fact.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles. So Renegades now face themselves at a 2 and 9, and again, that early utility, Nifty almost burns alive. In the end, he goes down to Fur with a headshot regardless, but still, SK getting so much value out of these early utilities, and Renegades are not adapting to it at all. Jacob hits a nice entry, though, onto bolts, and that makes life a little bit easier for Renegades.
I have no idea how Renegades has come out with an advantage after that. Look at Azza. He's also looked into that A bomb site. Fallen has no idea. That's a quick kill. Nice, bold play from Azza. Cold Zera's up next, but Azza doesn't want to overextend himself. He's still working his way up highway. Stewie's on a big flank. Jacob and JKS coming over, but Azza again with the follow-up, and now Stewie's just got to save. He has no chance in this round.
That's a really good response for Renegades as well. It puts SK back in the bin as far as the economy is concerned. And so after that really poor last round for Renegades, oh, well, it wasn't really that poor, but they lose it. They've come in now with, I would say, a very messy round. That round we've just seen is very, very messy. But Renegades make it work, and that was the important thing for them.
I think the worrying thing about that round for me is Nifty seems like he's really trying to make something happen, right? He's trying to make some kind of a play, running through that Molotov in that fashion and taking a pretty desperate fight over towards sandbags. That seemed a bit wild, but great utility damage from SK. It also just goes to show you how difficult it is. I always like to highlight this, how difficult it is for CT teams to hold mid. I mean, you get that much utility damage, you have, what, 3 players in middle, and you still aren't able to stop the tide of terrorist players coming over the boost, coming out of that main choke point, and that's so difficult. You've got to, watching that demo, if you see that, the amount of damage you've done with Molotovs and nades, you got to say, surely we win this round. Surely we get these kills.
Well, it didn't happen that way, at least for SK. Up 9 and 3, though. They're still not in a poor position right now. Renegades pretty much need the last 3 rounds of this half to make it competitive. And they're going to have to go up against another bye, at least for SK. Not this round, but Renegades, maybe it's just a case of letting Azza loose a little bit. It feels like he's the one that's really having the impact right now for Renegades, and kind of just let him do his thing and see what he can find.
Nine to 3. And we're going to get investment from SK. They're going to buy up into this, so taking a big risk with their economy down the stretch. This is the opening that Renegades needs. I mean, if they lose this and it's 9-4, then all of a sudden you have a great chance that you'll be at 5, essentially. SK will have to save for that last round, so this is actually huge in the context of the rest of this game, because Renegades, how many times have we seen this in this event? Just teams getting absolutely battered for the first, 8 or 9 rounds of a half and finding some way to claw back right in the end. That timely economic reset is giving Renegades a breath of life here.
Yeah, well, assuming they win this round, which isn't necessarily a foregone conclusion at this point.
True. This is very true. Looks like they're going to have some aggression over towards door. And bolts ready to go. There it is, and they get the kill. Azza doing some damage, but not able to complete the frag. That's going to give the AK-47 over to SK, and Renegades have a decision to make.
That's the start that SK needs in order to win this round. They find themselves a gun. They've got a player advantage, and they can snowball from there. So Renegades need to be very, very careful here. Stewie playing a bit of a cheeky angle there as well. So if the B-bomb side is hit by Renegades here, 3 players over on that side, I can see this going a little bit south for Renegades, and not in a good way.
You'd think they'd know to check this spot from Stewie, but either way, I think that smoke kind of scared him away. Just a little bit of utility And also maybe wanting to get a second front rolling. If they do eventually want to hit this B bomb site, make sure they have mid control, make sure there's no fast flank coming through vents and even coming through themselves to help clear out some awkward positions. Nifty just waiting with the op and sunroom for any kind of a push, and it looks like you still are going to use some utility out towards that A bomb site, maybe disguising their end game. There's a 3-man stack at this B bomb site. Fur boosted up once again with the AK-47, and you can see how powerful that position is just for what it allows the team to do on the other side of the map.
Renegades are funneling themselves into some close angles here, so the pistols can be very useful, but Stewie does go down. A good opener for JKS there, but still more players to find on that B site. That's a great shot hit by Cold Zero, immediately fragged out though by Ustillo, and now just onto Fallen. Oh, he's coming up with the goods. 2 kills from the CZ, and now a 1 versus 3 for Nifty. It's not possible at all. 10 seconds on the clock. He has to bow out of this round, and well, this is the round we were talking about, how Renegades, if they win this, they come back into the half, and they haven't managed to achieve that, so now it's on SK to build this into a massive first half.
Yeah, that was the one for Renegades. They really could have used that to be able to get up towards 6. It's not going to happen, obviously. Nicely done from SK. Fallen plays that perfectly, just baiting everyone inside the bomb site, not exposing that he's the 3rd player, just hiding and laying in wait in the back of that bomb site, and he gets a couple free kills just given to him. This is so nicely done. Good decision-making, good frags right at the end, and then no one needs to chase Nifty down. Still plenty of money for Renegades. They can continue to buy, but that dream, that hope of getting up towards 5 or 6 rounds in this half and really having a strong recovery is kind of gone. Now they have to limp their way there.
What's this going to be out here for the Renegades? Looks like it was almost going to be a bit of a faster play, but they dropped down their own Molotov, perhaps denying any aggression into A main for SK, which is not really what they were going for anyway. They've slowed things down a little bit, but yeah, like you said, Renegades, they could potentially still come back into this at 10 and 5, but the job is going to be much harder, and they need to win this round. Ustillo does a lot of damage there over to Fallen, but the first kill is still going to go the way of SK, and Renegades, once again, they have not managed to cleanly enter the A bomb site. Fallen holding the perfect angle. He's flashed out, though, and Jacob will find the kill. So Renegades, they managed to stabilize a little bit, bring it back to a 3 versus 3. And the bomb will go down, but there is a flank around the back from SK Gaming.
That's a nice Molotov, but Nifty needs to hit these shots. The op over at Forklift, that's huge. Fur's got an angle now into the bomb site. Where does this retake start coming from? Nifty's going to be exposed if Fur gets too wide on the angle. And here it comes. It's going to be an easy kill. No one watching for that. Nifty doesn't even get a chance to get involved. That's a powerful position taken out for SK on this retake. Gap in the smoke might allow Jacob to make a play. He's going to come through. He's going to have to get back now. Cold Zero with 1 kill on a JKS, and it's all on Jacob. This has slipped away from Renegades. Defuse is happening, and the Molotov is out too late. Stewie's going to stick it.
Oh, it doesn't even hit him?
Oh, he doesn't have a kit, though. And oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't hit him whatsoever. Just now it spreads, and it stops. 20 HP left, and SK get their 11th, and Stewie lets loose a little bit of a giggle.
That is a little bit of a stroke of luck for SK, allowing that Molotov not spreading, but in the end, could argue that Jacob should have thrown it better. Still, it's a hard ask, and it's really unfortunate there for Renegades. Now they're in a very tough position here heading into the 15th round. No money, down 11 and 3. I think the map is almost over.
Could be over very quickly, right? Right when we switch halves, if obviously it's going to come down to that pistol round now, as it usually does. As we all know, those pistol rounds are so important. But obviously, I mean, you'd hope at least you have enough space to survive a pistol round loss. Renegades haven't done enough to really allow themselves that fortune. Double op setup is back for SK Gaming. That's a shame. Nifty's he's had a tough half. I think that 1 kill from Fur right there is going to be the real tough one to deal with.
Yeah, although Nifty is a player of different halves at times. So we'll see how he goes on the CT side, but that's not far away. Renegades, they want to get 4 at least, give themselves something to play with in that second half. If they can get the pistol, you know, equalizes things a little bit. Even still, regardless, it's going to be a very hard ask for Renegades to come back into Cache right now. And SK Gaming, they looked so good on the CT side. Renegades searching for that last 1 round.
Pretty quiet round from both teams, and I mean, you can basically look at Fallen, Cold Zero, and Stewie. They're basically in line across the map at that B bomb site over towards mid. Some utility thrown, but I don't think that's going to worry SK too much. They don't have that stack there, and also, I mean, Renegades haven't really shown that they're comfortable taking mid a whole lot. They haven't had a whole lot of success based off of it. This is just going to be a heavy hit towards that A bomb site. Oz is the big one coming out of door. He's been pretty solid, all things considered, when he's come out of door to get entries. He'll have an opportunity to find Fur. It's an awkward angle, and he's going to get a double kill, and he's going to transfer over, not able to get the third. But this should be an SK round.
Definitely looks like it at this point. Ustillo and JKS need to come up pretty big, and well, Ustillo's hit a few nice shots so far today, and they bring it back to a 2v2. We know how good JKS is in these late round situations. Bomb to go down. There's not really anything from SK that can deny that. It's a double AWP for the retake here for SK as well. They're going to want to find some rifles first. Not so sure that they'll be keen to take 2 AWPs in on this situation.
I think they can only find the rifles close to the bomb site. This is going to be tough. They do have a Molotov on Fallen that he can use, and JKS behind the smoke might be the tough one for them to clear out, but they're hoping for a mistake with these AWPs, and it's just not going to come.
Not yet anyway. JKS throws that flashbang out, denying a little bit more time, and Incendiary is going to force Ustillo to peek, but he's good enough to get the kill onto Cold Zero. Now 1v1 for JKS. He misses the shot initially, but Fallen only hits him through the box, which puts JKS down to 1 HP. In the end, one more round goes to Renegades. I'm not sure it's enough, but 11-4 is better than 12-3.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think if Renegades down the stretch, you're going to take what you can get. That's a very nice performance. SK coming out super, super strong. And what, an 8-0 run to start that first half before Renegades is able to claw just 4 rounds out for the half. Well played from them. The Ops were on fire early on. And it's Fur with 19 kills, Bolts and Fallen with 15 each, and it's been Cold Zero and Stewie. They haven't had to get involved in the action. They didn't get a whole lot of attention over towards that B bomb site. 9 and 3 kills on them respectively, so SK's going to be happy with this lead, and Renegades, obviously this is an elimination series as well, so I mean those slow starts are extremely punishing when you think about the fact that one of these teams is going home.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that 150 ADR out from Bolt. That's massive.
It's not bad. That is a not bad half.
Yeah, that's a little bit better than not bad. Give him some credit. 11-4 though, SK Gaming moving into the second half, and Renegades now on the CT side. Looks like it's going to be a fairly similar pistol, at least as far as the T sides are concerned, as SK make their way over to the B side. And Jacob, well, that's a good opener.
Hello. Nice little headshot to start things off. JKS and Jacob, they're both playing in the bomb site, so if SK does continue to move forward, they have no idea this is coming until the smokes get thrown out, but they're going to be fine with that considering they have a 5-on-4, and here it comes. Nifty's going to start rotating over. It's going to be too late. They have to do something on the initial defense. Jacob with another headshot. Can he get a third? That would be beautiful. One more kill for him, but look at how he's delaying. He's doing this so well. Stewie was waiting for Bolts to come over towards headshot, and now he's got the USP. Now he can fight at range, but the bomb is dropped in the open.
It's going to be thrown up onto the site there. Easily retrievable. The plant will come out here for SK, but they have lost Fallen in the meanwhile. That puts it at 3 versus 2, and Renegades can charge into this site with the player advantage. More than enough, but it does allow the bomb at least down for SK. So they'll save next round. Or I mean, they could force next round, but realistically, likely to save next round and then get the guns out in round 3. Still not a terrible result for SK.
No, not the worst thing in the world. The plant obviously going to help out. I thought that was really well played from Jacob. Obviously, the kills are beautiful, but the amount of time that he stalled to allow Renegades players to get over towards that bomb site, and even at SK, once they took it over, once they throw the bomb across the choke point, they still just can't get comfortable at any point. Renegade starts the retake. As Ozzy gets that kill from up top, they're able to start the retake before the bomb even really goes down, so just really awkward position to be in if you're the Brazilian stuck in the bomb site.
It's going to be that save out for SK. 3 rifles out for Renegades as well. They're not really leaving anything to chance here.
Deal on Bolts. He's looking at keeping that ADR up. He knows he's had a good first half. He wants the stats to remain intact. He's going to eat a grenade for his troubles, and Fallen will eat some bullets from the SMG. JKS, though, getting greedy, and it's all fine. He's got 3 kills. He's made a lot of bonus money, and he wants more with that USP, but does go down to the Glock.
Yeah, all's well that ends well though for Renegades. 4 kills out onto the SMG, so a lot of bank being built up there for them. But this is where the fun begins, at least for SK, as they get their AKs out. And Renegades need to be a little bit wary. We'll see whether or not JKS decides to go for another SMG here, but it should likely be the rifle, and it will.
No op though.
Save through from Nifty.
That's fine. That one makes sense. And I think Renegades, you kind of have to take that risk if you're Nifty, I think, just because as the AWPer, you're going to want to get that. Obviously, the bonus money is going to be super nice, but you're going to want to build up as much as you possibly can to be able to afford the AWP through losses, if that's what it comes to. Both losses of player count and just round losses when SK kind of gets rolling with this economy. They don't have a lot of nades to work with, though, on the offensive side. Can't dig too deep into the playbook, so for now, they're going to be quiet, looking for aggression before making their decision, as Maybe they have like, you know, a smoke and 2 flashbangs to work with to gain some kind of map control to kind of make some kind of small trick on the map to find an opening kill. But for the most part, they're going to want to save at least 2 of those smokes for the eventual hit towards the A-bomb site.
Renegades are fairly nicely set up right now with the push out from Jacob into B halls. Got a bit of information over there, and they do have a nice defense on the A-bomb site. A quick rotation for Azza as well. When SK Gaming do end up hitting this bomb site, there is going to be some utility thrown into mid by the looks of things there. Just into the Z connector. It's going to keep Azza a little bit wary, but now the push is going to come out onto the A-bomb site here. Fur leading the charge, and Bolts, again, the one to find the opening frag for SK Gaming. Not enough of a trade back there from Azza, and now Nifty with only an SMG. What is he going to do? He gets absolutely steamrolled on that A-bomb site.
That is a really nice take from SK, and you can see kind of the difference between the 2 takes. When Renegades is on the T side, they're trying to get into the bomb site, right? They're trying to kind of really get past the smoke and the Molotov to turn the corner. SK Gaming, on the other hand, they just take that main courtyard, and they're taking the fights towards highway, towards quad. They're taking the fights towards the reinforcements that are coming, and once you get those kills, it pressures the site player from peeking into your crosshair. And that's really well done from SK, trading off the kills on towards highway. Great opening kill from Bolts, great follow-up from Stewie, and now he's on the hunt. The last few rifles, Jacob and JKS just positioned out towards T-spawn. They want to take as many AKs away as possible.
Now, this could absolutely destroy Renegade's economy if they do lose a couple of players. That's a good shot hit by Fur. That's going to force the rebuy of another rifle, which is really not too great for Renegades at all. They desperately would have wanted to keep that money intact. Would have meant their buy would have actually been pretty good. But now, the option might even be to save here for Renegades. We see just the pistol and armor out for Azza.
It was Jacob yesterday for the Renegades who had something like 38 kills in regulation, didn't
37,
he?
I think 37?
it was,
but yeah. That was against Greyhound, though, to be fair.
Okay. So a little bit different level of competition, you'd say?
Look, I mean, I don't want to talk down on Greyhound at all. I think they're a fantastic team.
Yeah.
But this is SK Gaming we're talking about, and I know Greyhound beat SK Gaming, but let's be honest. That's a 1 in a million.
JKS boosted up. He's got the M4. Fallen is going to stay vigilant. As you can see to this kind of a play, shoulder peeking, waiting for that head to pop up into the exposed position. And there's Fur. He's going to get taken out by pistols. He's still in Azza, taking some big chunks of damage, but not falling. And JKS still being patient.
Yeah, this all hinges on JKS and Azza right now. Obviously, Azza quite low, but if he can bait for JKS, this could be a pretty incredible round for Renegades, and a round that they desperately need right now as well. SK through to 13 would just be a little bit too much. Azza's found himself the AK there, though. Fulham, here's the sound cue, but not going to be able to land the shots, and so that's another little advantage secured there for the Renegades. JKS will fall off his boost. Has he made too much noise there? Fallen seems aware.
I think JKS is going to be frustrated he made that noise, but SK themselves are stumped at the moment. Azza's now boosted up. JKS in close mid to get the sound cues, and SK is just going to fall back into another A hit, and they have to deal with that boost in a big way. We saw how much damage Fur did when he was up there. Ustillo's in support as well, but he's only got the deagle in a third of his HP. There's a chance here as the 2 kind of beat up players for Renegades are on the initial defense, and Azza peeks too soon. No one can help him. That's deep into A main, but the rotations are on the way.
Some damage done though by Azza there. The grenade is good. It gets rid of Ustillo, stabilizing things quite significantly for SK. And now Jacob, well, he needs to do a little bit more, and there's 8 seconds on the clock here, so JKS could still win this round with one big kill. Not going to get it though, shut down by Cold Zera. Had he got that one, might have been able to deny the bomb plant, but in the end, SK come away with the round. 13-6 is up.
It's so hard though, right? Like if you're JKS and you're going to get into the bomb site to take that planter out because of the time, if you're going to play it in that sense, you have to kind of throw caution to the wind and just get into the bomb site, and you kind of really put yourself in danger of every other position in the site. So, I mean, it's kind of a tough call to make for JKS. He's going to be stuck on a pistol, forgets to buy, goes back for it, but desperation for Renegades. Now, this might be one of the last rifle buys we see out of them. At least they have the op on Nifty. That can ring out, and Jacob's taken down quick. Bolts is having a stellar game.
A blinder, really, at this point. 21-10. So he's 2-1 right now. Still, he does get a frag onto Ustillo in mid, and oh my goodness, he gets another one onto Azza. It's all going wrong right now for the Renegades. They just fall apart across the map. The timing was so bad on that B site for the Renegades, and then all over the map, they just seem to not really recognize where SK could be, and SK took advantage of it.
Nifty gets a chance to show off at the very least. I think every B defender has been in Jacob's positions there where he's just like trying to cross over towards checkers. He gets picked off and he's just like, how the hell did they get there that quick? He gets dropped. And yeah, that op doesn't even get a chance to be involved. So Renegades now down 6-14. I think they just have to buy here. I think we just see them kind of force buy till the end of time, or you know, for the last few rounds that they have.
The next 2 rounds, you mean?
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Right, well, Renegade's not actually force buying into this one, so it looks like they want to play for overtime. Stewie, yeah, just lurking out into mid. Such an impact there as well, and that, I mean, Bolts opened the round, Stewie closed the round.
He certainly did seal it. And here's Ozza with a pop flash for Jacob, Nifty, and Ustilo to push in. That nade is going to dink down, or not dink down, but damage up Nifty. Some spam coming through as that pop flash gave away the push. More damage on a Nifty, down to 25 HP. I think that's going to cause coldzera to be a little bit more bold towards this B bomb site. If you know you hear that massive bodies pushing in towards A main, you kind of know you have a little bit of an easier time towards the other side of the map.
So the stack from Renegades, it's in the right place, but it's only 3 players, and with only pistols, SK looking assured for a victory here in round 21. Utility comes out, not really pushing Renegades out of their positions. The first frag again does go the way of SK. So many times it's been Fur and Bolts, and it's exactly those two who are doing the work right now for the T side. All the kills go their way. 15-6 is up. Renegades to buy through into what could be the last round of Cache. Try and find 9 in a row for overtime.
Trying to find 9 in a row, and they've struggled at times to string. They haven't even strung 3 rounds together in this game quite yet. They've maxed out at 2. So it's not the highest likelihood that this is going to occur, but we'll see. They have one chance. They have a double op setup. Neither of the ops have armor, but it is kind of that last gasp.
Yeah, it's the proper strat, really, isn't it? JKS, when you see him with the AWP, you kind of know that Renegades are defaulting back to something that they don't normally do.
Oh, jeez. I mean, look how... this is where you know if you're Renegades, you're in for some trouble. That's how confident SK is being, just peeking, dry peeking in towards A main at a minute and like 40 seconds on the clock. Ozza's setting up to do the run boost, to get someone up on the boxes, and he just gets put down to 41 HP because he's out in the open, not even looking towards A main. Didn't even think there was a chance that peak was going to be coming. So much pressure being applied early on from SK Gaming. Every part of this Renegades defense is unnoticed. Great kill from JKS.
A necessary kill from JKS. If Bolts find that, and SK probably ends up winning this map. Oh, goodness me, as it goes down, Stewie gets rid of him. Back to 4v4.
Again, Stewie probably goes down there if Fur hadn't, or I mean, if Fur hadn't dealt damage to Ozza right at the beginning. I mean, that's how big that kind of confidence peek in from A main was. But speaking of how big a play can be, Jacob with a massive flank, and that's going to be an easy kill on Default. And that's the bomb as well. He can play it patiently from here. Fur and A main try to use the cover of the smoke to get back to pick up the bomb, but he's got to clear out Jacob first. Flashbang doesn't work, but the headshot does.
Jacob knew that he was going to be pressured from both sides, so he had to try and make a play there. At least he's done some damage over to Fur, brings it, of course, to the 2 versus 3, but still a very comfortable looking round here for Renegades, and they've also got those 2 AWPs still in their control, so they can take the double AWP through as long as they keep a couple of players alive. SK, though, who knows? Let's not count them out of this round just yet. With only 10 seconds, it's of course going to be tough, but I wouldn't be resting on my laurels just yet if I was Renegades. And here comes the entry. Ustilo shuts it down. So that is now going to be the round over. coldzera can't get anything done. Looking for some more damage to the CT economy, but won't get it. 7 up for Renegades, and, well, I guess it's a necessary round, but how many more is it going to lead to?
Let's find out. Let's hop on the ride. Renegades, 8 more to force overtime with this double up setup that they've brought out, and now they can kind of get some armor behind. At least JKS. Nifty's still a little bit low. I think he dropped the weapon over. SK Fallen's going to have an AWP of his own that time, despite some of the aggressive peaks. They just got picked off by those AWPs. See if they can neutralize that one. coldzera going to be heading over towards the B bomb site, and a couple players for SK already in A main. Bolt staring into the wall for a pop flash, just keeping his eyes turned just in case. It's only Ustilo to defend against any kind of an A hit, and the speed of this might scare them. They had a lot of success with an early peek, and now they're going to go right at it. Ustilo with the opening kill, gets the follow-up, holds the fort, and that's quite nice until Fallen picks him off. Smoke goes down, they can get into the bomb site, SK, and get this plant.
Still a huge double kill there for Ustilo. It is going to allow Renegades to come across quite quickly. The bomb has not been retrieved right now for SK. They were looking to see if maybe coldzera could get anything done, but in the end, Fur is actually going to drop to Nifty, and the Orb's starting to have an impact here for Renegades. So too for SK as Fallen finds a frag. We're back to a 2 versus 2. coldzera's managed to get that lurk going, and now this looks a little bit more dangerous for Renegades, who felt sure they were going to win the round, but now it seems sure that SK will. Fallen comes up with 3 on the Orb, and it's just Nifty left alive.
It's so deadly when SK takes these kinds of position with so much time left in the round. When they do these fast plays, you get Fallen that time in open space, and it's so difficult to win. You can see Ozzo wants to make a play to get closer to that A bomb site, wants to make a play towards Forklift, and Fallen just has so much time to cautiously peek every angle, and now it's all on Nifty. 1 versus 2. Spots out the elbow, takes that off. There goes Fallen. coldzera back towards Quad. The Molotov, I don't think it's going to force him to peek on either side of those boxes, which...
Nifty's got no idea where he is either.
That's going to be frustrating for Nifty, and he's making a lot of noise. He has to, and coldzera just takes him out of the sky. 16-7. Renegades, they had some chances, but could never really get going, and that's a dominant start in this series from SK.
Yeah, definitely a good-looking SK so far in this tournament. Really dispatching of Renegades quite easily there.
Fur and Bolts have phenomenal games. 27-13 for Fur, 23-13 for Bolts, who also had that massive 150 ADR after the first half to really set the tone.
All right, well, that's going to be the map over. We're going to go to map 2, but first, it's break time.